Well, that's actually an interesting thing. You might have some more tips for me on that as like a person. If you speak at a conference, which sometimes I'll speak at a conference, and sometimes people will come up, and then they'll say thank you for things that I've done or books, or like my book and things like that. And I really appreciate that. But then after that, it's sort of like a really dead, uncomfortable conversation. I kind of want to get out of it, but um, it sounds like you just say, "Oh, hi, I'm David." That's one thing that helps. Is there any other like mental tricks that you've learned to make those more enjoyable?
No, I mean, I'm the worst person in the world to ask about this because I'm really miserable at a lot of these conferences. And, for me, this is another great thing. Like I was one time, I love telling the story. I was at a conference and I was at a gaming convention, and these gaming conventions, you're burning the candle on both ends because you're working during the day. And if you're part of the industry, you're working during the day, but then you're like seeing your peers and the other professionals at night, and you want to play games and everyone's out drinking. And it's like, I mean, you really go like crazy at these things. And there's also this mentality of like the con is like 3 days long. I have to see everyone. I have to do everything. So I was texting my friend Will, and Will is like one of the busiest guys in the world, and especially at these sort of like pop culture and gaming conventions. And I was like, hey, let's go grab a drink or something. And Will texts me back, and he's like, I am all out of mana for today, and I could start burning life to recoup that mana, but I don't think that's advisable at this point in the convention. And I was like, man, that is the smartest thing I've ever heard. Like that is exactly what it's like. It's like,
Wait, what's mana?
these
Is
are
this like a
very
gaming thing?
highly technical video game nerd terms.
Gotcha.
But in a video game, mana is like your spell power. So it's like your power to cast spells. And if you're a spellcaster, it's like it's a resource you have to manage. And when you're all out of mana, you can't cast any more spells. And some people can do like blood magic, and they can almost like hurt. They can burn their life to regenerate mana, but you can only do that until you die. So
Yeah.
it's like that's not like a great way to go through your everyday life. Is like burning health to regenerate mana.
I think some people get more mana just from interacting with more people, and people like
I
you and me,
well,
we need a recharge.
that is the classic definition of an introvert versus an extrovert, right? Is like an extrovert is someone who gets charged up by being with people, and an introvert is someone who needs to recharge after they're with people. They deplete their energy being with people. And I am, I've sort of been on like what I can perform well like in front of a crowd. Like I'm a good speaker. I did debate in high school. Like it's a thing I actually enjoy, speaking in front of a crowd. Assuming I have like something to say. And for a while, I was like, well, I wonder what that means. But honestly, like I think I'm just coming to terms with the fact that I'm like kind of a classic introvert, because like at the end of the day with these things, or even a day at work where I'm like in meetings with people all day, like I'm just ready to go crawl into a hole. Like I don't want to see my girlfriend. I don't want to see my friends. I just want to go go into a closet like the one you're recording in, and close the door, read a book alone, and not have anyone talk to me.
Oh, I know the feeling, and I consistently test like right on the line for extrovert introvert, and it definitely goes both ways for me.